Hello, hello, and welcome, my Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Healing Twin Flame read, mid-September to mid-October 2020. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, Virgo sun sign, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo, Lyons. But my friends just call me Mal, and feel free to as well. My subscribers, thank you so much for your love and support. As much as I am giving you, my Virgos, the service that I can give, your likes, your subscribes, your comments, your notification bell hittings, and all of that YouTube stuff is helping me slowly but surely grow my channel, and I'm greatly, greatly appreciative. You know, there are two ways to torture a Virgo. One is to refold a roadmap incorrectly. We just kind of twitch and pass out. The other is take away our service, right? Because we're not really sure what we're supposed to do with ourselves. So I'm very, very happy, lucky, and blessed to be doing this work on YouTube for you all. So thank you so much for the love and support. If you're new to my channel and you want to help out, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. Because I'm kind of sort of shooting for 30 grand subscribers so that I can have the membership thing, so that I can do the extended readings here instead of having to do half here and half on Vimeo. And there is an extended for this reading. Half of it is on here, half of it is on Vimeo.com. The link is in the description box below. So to do it all in one place would be lovely, but okay, Sarah, it's a journey. Life is a highway. I'm going to ride it all night long. So that being said, let's get down to work, Virgos. We are looking at a twin flame read, a healing twin flame read. Twin flames are a type of soul contract, just like soulmates, but completely different in one foundational way. Twin flames teach you how to love yourself, teach you how to heal yourself, teach you how to set boundaries, how to respect yourself, find your self-worth. Why? Because the twin can't give that to you. Only you can give that to yourself, right? So you teach yourself how to heal. So it doesn't matter what the other twin is doing. You can heal you. That's what these readings are for. Soulmates are different. You help each other heal, and there are some links in the description box. You want to check those out. Particularly the one by Matt Kahn, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. You might want to check that one out. That was a head spinner for me. Game changer, right? Spun my head around in the best possible way, and is the kind of the foundational philosophy definition behind the readings that I do in terms of twin flame and soulmate, at least. Let's get down to it. We're going to be doing it like a contract. Divine feminine, party number one. Divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine, party number one, party number two. We could say party number one, number two, but you know, it's YouTube. People want to look at it as divine feminine, divine masculine. That's okay with me, but it's not talking about bodily gender, so please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a general read, but by the end of it, 13 cards, you'll have an idea of who you are, the divine feminine or the divine masculine in this one. And also, if you want to go further into the extended, you'll know probably by the end of it if it's speaking to you to make that jump over. I have to tell you, the extended readings have been really brilliant, way more in depth, but you know, I'm a reader. What else am I going to say? That's actually the truth of the situation. So, stay in the present moment as you go through this reading. Breathe. Be here now. Ground yourself so that you can really feel in your Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign physiology how the energy is hitting you and how it feels in the body, right? Every sign kind of has its own special way of receiving intuitive guidance. Virgo, for myself, I know it's visceral. It's literally in the body sometimes. My body speaking to me, telling me stuff, not just up here, down here, right? We're ruled by the intestines. I guess that's about it. You ready to rock and roll? Let's see what's going on in our twin flames, shall we? Oh, and by the way, check your other signs. Everybody's got more than one twin flame. My dad was a twin flame. They're not all romantic sexual, but it seems so far this will be our sixth one. Like, I think pretty much 3 out of 5 have been sexual romantic in the extended. So if it doesn't show up in these 13 cards, you'll know to go jump into the extended. Good, my guides. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. Thank you very much. Give credit where credit is due. Let's find out who we're dealing with the Caroline Myss archetype cards. Take a nice deep breath. And we begin. Please, my collective pantheons, of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need two, count them, two cards. One for the divine feminine, party number one. Second for the divine masculine, party number two. In this Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless, whenever they are supposed to watch this. Here's the divine feminine. Oh, I can feel him. He's right in my fingers. There he is. There's our divine masculine. Jumped into my pincers. Now, keep in mind, Carolyn Mace is a tough cookie of a teacher. She's from Chicago, and her book, Sacred Contracts, is a real mind-opener, life-changer. So, of course, her cards would follow suit with that in the shadow and the light attributes. They're a little triggery. The shadow stuff is what you are learning to heal within yourself, within this twin flame contract. The light attribute is what you are shooting for. And we have the divine feminine shapeshifter and the divine masculine orphan child. Now, I'm a Virgo. I have both of these in my astrological, zodiacal, sacred contracts chart. Read the book. That will make more sense, I guess. Sacred Contracts, Carolyn Mace. Let me read these to you because the child, anybody can relate to the child archetype because everyone was a child. It's one of the 4 survival family archetypes, right? The child, the saboteur, the prostitute, and the victim. I did those in a different order for the first time in a long time. Usually it's child, victim, saboteur, prostitute. It's how we learn how to survive. The soul power of learning how to survive, not just physically, psychologically, spiritually, etc. So by the end of this, if you don't know which one you are, because I have to say, the shapeshifter archetype, which I believe is the wild card family, is very Virgo, mutable earth, right? The shifting of shape. Shape is usually something earth element, physical, tangible, and like the sands of time, we're always kind of shifting as Virgos, but either one of these could be the Virgo who is watching this. The shadow attribute of the shapeshifter archetype, I know I'm totally getting like Beast Boy flashbacks, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And I'll cop to that. My stepfather, I call him Zeus. He is a lawyer. When we would go to bar association meetings, whoop, hair back in a ponytail, whoop, right? Just kind of get by, get through. And that was more for his comfort than my own, right? Yeah, you're gay witch of a stepson. Yeah, he's my father. Whatever. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, there's a thing about camouflage, right? That is a protective thing, but that's not really what that's talking about. That's like in one room, you're a conservative. You walk into the next room, you're a liberal. You walk into the next room, you're just kind of morphing to get over, right? The light attribute, though, and this is really powerful. Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Now, let's go back to that. In one room, you're a conservative, in the next, you're a liberal, etc., etc. To be able to navigate that honorably. Seeing the goodness in the people, having conversations with people, being interested in what they have to say without even having to agree with it, right? Just giving them that love and that attention in that way. Very powerful thing. And not that different from being a diplomat, but the shapeshifter as well can do that camo, where I know for myself, I can make myself stand out or I can fade into the background. It's something I learned from Granny Weatherwax. Look it up. All right, we've got the orphan child archetype, which I can also relate to, being the only gay person in my family for apparently 1,000 years, both directions, right? Who sticks out like a sore thumb? But the orphan child. Remember, this is a survival archetype. Not everybody has the orphan child, but everybody has the child archetype. The shadow attributes, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. Soul loss. Leaving your soul back in time, right? You need soul retrieval for that stuff. To call back the innocence of your own heart. This is why inner child work is so key. Seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Like throughout the 80s, for me, essentially, the groups, the heinous cliques I used to hang with back in the day, right? So this is a very interesting thing, a very interesting combo for Virgos, because someone here is obviously dealing with some inner child pain from childhood, while the other one is negotiating different levels of consciousness in this twin flame relationship, being hopefully able to relate on all different levels as they go. Now, you may not relate or be able to relate to just one. Maybe you're connecting to both, which is why we are going to take 5, count 5, Daughters of the Moon Tarot and 5 Mythic Tarot to get you fire, earth, air, water, spirit for both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine to kind of get who they are in this contract. I'll explain it as the cards are turned over, but let's get all 10 on the table first. Nice deep breath. Of course I have process and procedure. Virgo, breathe. My goddesses of Virgo, my goddesses of mutable earth, please, I need 5 cards, an element spread for this Divine Feminine shapeshifter in this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract mid-September, mid-October 2020. You know, what does she want? What's her element of fire? What is her element of earth? What is her element? Oh, I feel you. It's one of you. Is it? It's this one. There's your air. What is her element of water, please? I'll take that one. And what is the element of spirit, the voice of the soul that agreed to the contract? Now, keep in mind, I'm saying her and him for my own mental sanity of this. If I keep saying Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine over and over and over again, I'm not going to get that right either. So just bear with me on that. We're not talking bodily gender here, but the pronoun helps as a reader. Let's check for the Divine Masculine. Breathe. My gods, Dionysus in particular, who owns the throne of Virgo in my pantheon, please, I need 5 cards, as you know. Element spread for this Divine Masculine orphan child in this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract mid-September to mid-October 2020 or timeless, please. What's his element of fire? What's his element of his element of earth? Just leave it in my hand. Thank you. What is his element of air? There we go. What is his element of water? Send that around again if you want. Nope, that one. And what is the element of spirit, the point of view or voice of the soul that incarnated to fulfill this contract? With our cards on the table, let's look at the element of fire for both of them, what they want, what they burn for, what they yearn for, their intention and all that jazz. Well, we've got the Scorpio card for the Divine Feminine shapeshifter here. Now, considering it's fixed water, Scorpio, this could be more of a deeper emotional experience is what she wants here, right? That depth, but also that it's Hecate, the crone of cups, the Scorpio card, that it could be wanting not just the depth of emotion, but the depth of emotional transformation here to really heal, to grow, to perhaps love again, or go through an emotionally transformative process where she heals. Divine Masculine orphan child wants justice, which says that there has been an imbalance going on here, that there has been an injustice between these two. Why else would you want, right? I want justice. It might be that one hurt the other. Don't know that. It might be that they have both been in an unfair situation. Maybe this is a social justice thing. I will say Divine Masculines, what are called the second wave, usually tend to be the divine justicers of things. The Divine Feminine first wavers tend to be the sensitives, the empaths. We're clearing the energy field. They're destroying the old and rebuilding the new. But this does definitely feel like about each other. I have a feeling that this Divine Feminine shapeshifter really wants to change how she is feeling about this Divine Masculine and about this contract in total, and to get down to something deeper there than how things have been. A real transformation, but yet a deeper dive, maybe even crossing the river Styx into the underworld to get a more eternal aspect of this soul contract. It's a little shamanic coming out of my mouth, but there you have it. What's their element of earth? Think of the torch that feeds the fire, right? The earth that's going to help them get what they want in their element of fire. Oh, where to begin? The Divine Feminine has the Eight of Blades. Now, the Eight of Blades, the Eight of Swords, traditional tarot, rider waite, right? It's being blindfolded and bound, right? like looping, like mental belief looping, like catch-22 of the mind. That's not how it is in this deck. This is Chokhmah, Israeli goddess of the desert winds, goddess of wisdom, and actually one of the spheres of the Kabbalistic tree of life is Chokhmah. I forget which one that is off the top of my head. Why do I have a feeling it's either throat or third eye? It's either this one or whatever. Anatomy of the Spirit, Carolyn Mace, right? But decisions, right? If you're standing out in the desert and you don't know which way to go because you're in the middle of the desert and the winds are blowing, you have these decisions to make. But if you're in the desert, go the wrong way. You're going to die, right? You got to find your way to the oasis, so to speak. So it seems that right now, at least, the Divine Feminine has a big decision to make. Now, not the card of the Lovers. That's a life-changing decision. Decisions tend to be life-changing, but this is probably about a particular way of seeing this from now on, which actually plays well with what she wants, right? The element of fire, the Scorpio card, the deeper dive, the deeper experience, perhaps the transformation of how they feel about this divine masculine or this relationship in general, hasn't made the decision yet, but can. Now, the Nine of Cups here for the divine masculine. This kid's got to grow up. Because Nine of Cups, this is his wish fulfillment, and he knows it. But, see the but? It's like, but things are out of balance. Things are out of balance. Now, obviously, this is not a literal child. This is an adult who's dealing with the child archetype. And what do we know about the orphan child? It's been abandoned. It's been neglected. There are deep wounds of abandonment and neglect that can often manifest itself as, guess what? Narcissism, right? What does a narcissist do? They cope with their pain of abandonment by making it all about them, and they don't care what anybody else feels like, and that can be what? Childish. Let's just leave that there on the table. Let's not use any examples from current life, shall we? Just to keep it light. Keep it sunny, keep it funny, keep it gay. You know who I'm talking about, right? So kind of feel that, right? It's like there is an injustice here. I just wonder who did the injustice to who. That could play itself out both ways. Either one could have. Let's see, what are they thinking? The element of air. Because if this is their Nine of Cups, their wish fulfillment is to be together, they kind of have to get their shit together. Well, the Divine Feminine is thinking about the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, possibly someone left out in the cold here, but the card of Earthquake means that there was a very sudden shift, a very fast one, but that changed everything. This could be about the past, this could be about something coming, but keep in mind, Shapeshifter and Earthquake kind of go together. Think about that, right? Mutable earth, you know, the shifting of shape, the quaking of the earth. So if these two, I mean, am I going to come right out and say this is romantic sexual at this point? Because it's weird to talk about an orphan child archetype, right? But this is an adult who's dealing with the orphan child. Remember, we all have the child archetype within us, but this one may have feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. So the chances of this one doing the injustice to this one is probably more likely, because we have somebody here who's really kind of perhaps going over the physical loss and change of being left out in the cold by this divine masculine. Is kind of what I'm getting, or at least that's the mental part of it. So we'll see what the next card is emotionally in a minute, but it would make sense with this Scorpio card to want to transform this internally. Because second major arcana card down for this divine masculine on the level of the mind is the Strength card. They might very well be thinking about growing up here. of evolving, of maturing, right? Of independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering the fear of surviving, right? To really take that challenge of the light part of it, to be strong and independent on their own, and then to think about the courage, right? To inspire themselves of what it's going to take, what they're going to have to endure. The strength card, though this is Heracles, with the Nemean lion, it's not about physical strength. It is about the strength. Can you channel the strength of your soul, your eternal nature, to open your heart and love fiercely? In a twin flame contract, yeah. Is this orphan child going to open their heart? Probably end up being the one busting a move and getting this thing back together if that's what's supposed to happen. But at least they're thinking about it, right? They're contemplating it. So let's look at this element of water. This should be very telling. And it kind of is. The card of victory. So the Seven of Flames in this deck is sort of like the Six of Wands in the traditional tarot victory. These are women on horseback, galloping on cooling lava, and the cooling lava beneath the surface is moving in the same direction they are. So a little close to the Eight of Wands there too, but there's things moving forward on the inside and things moving forward on the outside. So in terms of the transformation then here, because this is a water card, so of course we're going to look at the position of water in the spread, that why would you want to transform a feeling of victory? So then rather it's kind of got to be then to go deeper into that victory, right? To transform oneself as a result of that. Now, I do think that because a shapeshifter can navigate different levels of consciousness, that they can look at this from a purely mental level, a more emotional level, a more intuitive level, a more spiritual level, kind of shifting the different layers of consciousness, levels of consciousness. Kind of sensing that there's a message on the way here. It does feel like these two are going to try and get it together. She's willing to, she's feeling triumphant. Right? That what has already gone by, she still has a big decision to make here for her own personal life, but has the momentum to do this. Then what she really wants here, keep coming back to this, is that this decision be made in a healthy way, in a transformatively healthy way, because she's probably feeling it a lot for this orphan child archetype. They're just, I don't feel like they're together. The Page of Swords, he's feeling to reach out. Page of Swords, a messenger, right? Now, the pages for me have no zodiacal context. They are messengers in and of themselves. But Aeolus, the god of the winds, I think the east wind, yeah, I can get the sense of that, wanting to reach out, but it's a Page of Swords. It would be something immature. Now, immature, I don't mean childish, although we are dealing with the orphan child here, but sort of like a simple message, like a happy birthday or sorry, right? Like one word or whatever to start this process. May also be trying to follow their intuition of how to communicate this clearly. But when you have an air card in the water position there's definitely a lot of thought about how they feel. And with this card of justice, they want to balance the scales. They want to make this right because it's their wish fulfillment. Yeah, they might have blown it, but kids are supposed to blow it, right? It's how we learn. Like how do you learn unless you fuck things up and make mistakes, right? That's an unconditional love story, right? Not that you just keep taking each other back. You just keep healing and learning. Oh, fuck. Well, the point of view of the soul, the card of spirit, divine feminine. The soul is saying, 10 of cups, baby. Feel it all. Feel it all. Let your cups overflow. Love this kid. Love this divine masculine. Just don't get attached to it. Love for the sake of love. Go that unconditional, ecstatic thing here. Transform yourself through emotion, because when we allow ourselves to feel love unconditionally, and sometimes that means no matter what happens, I'm going to bless the crap out of this person, I'm going to love them, but I'm going to allow the attachment to the outcome burn up in the fury and power of that love. Not easy, but doable, because the soul of this divine masculine, 5 of cups, heartbroken. Let's say that. Let's say that that the tea has been spilled. There's only one cup left, and there is some emotional upset here. I really feel like the past pain of this divine masculine orphan is just being compounded by whatever went on between the two of them. Now remember, twin flames, you teach each other how to love yourselves. I've been seeing this trend with the divine feminines in this reading, in this series of readings this time around, although it's only the 6th one, that it seems like the divine feminines are, that at least I'm reading for in the zodiacal collectives, are kind of really doing the inner work. That's their job. But these divine masculines, as usually is the case, are because their old paradigm is falling apart. So they're kind of grasping at straws, and they've made lots of mistakes, and yet there is the quantum spiritual truth that all of this is scripted and we've done nothing wrong, that we're all in it's all learning curve, right? Like the caterpillar doesn't know it's a butterfly, and it doesn't need to know how to become a butterfly, and I'm sure once it's a butterfly it can look back at the caterpillar and go, oh my, what have I done? But part of our own highly individualized curriculum according to Course in Miracles, right? It's a very, very tricky contract we've got here. The divine feminine and the divine masculine here. There's just, it feels like there's a lot of subtext, and it's so diversified. Well, we're dealing with a mutable sign here. That would make sense in terms of how it expresses itself. Is this romantic sexual? I would think with 9 of Cups, yes, just on that side. And with the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, the card of ecstasy. But I also feel like this divine feminine could move on, right? She's like, you're going to lock me out? You're not going to communicate with me? That's all right. I'll get over you, but I'm going to get over you through emotional healing and transformation. All right, that's how you don't have to keep repeating stuff, but that's not an easy decision to make either. We got one more card down, right? I said 13. We got 12 on the table. Let's get you the healing mantra card from the Matt Contra Healing. Did I say Matt Contra again? The Matt Con Healing Mantra deck. That's a lot. There's a lot to say. But I love this deck, and I find it very, very helpful. And my clients seem to be digging it. A lot of them have actually bought the deck as a result. So let's see what the Ascended Masters of Soul Contracts, the Twin Flame Division, have to say. Breathe. Yeah, hello, my Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contract Law. The Twin Flame branch, please, can you give me one card in clarity? The perfect healing mantra. It doesn't matter which one uses the mantra in this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame contract, mid-September to mid-October 2020, or timeless. What is that perfect healing mantra for the divine feminine shapeshifter and or this divine masculine orphan child archetype? To help them heal themselves, what's their healing mantra? Inviting ecstasy. Digging it. Perfect. Oh, by the way, this card is the 10 of Cups. Ecstasy, Inanna's House of Heaven. Pause. Inanna and Ereshkigal, it's all about the descent into the underworld, and here's Hecate at the gateways of the underworld. Just saying. So there is some absolute lead to be alchemized here, some shadow to be embraced on the side of the shapeshifter who has a skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, and if she don't yet, she will, right? That's the thing. If she can really stop projecting the image that serves their personal agenda. That's the thing Carolyn May said when I first started reading Sacred Contracts, or somewhere in there. She said, keep an eye on your personal agendas. You'll find out what your archetypes are. She's right. Let me read you this one. I love this mantra. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. This again leads me to think this is more of a romantic sexual contract, being that this is the last card down. Of course, in the extended, we will get into that deeper. And I always throw up, I always put at the end a trailer, a preview of the first card or so. Of the extended reads. Inviting ecstasy. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. When ecstasy is invited, you feel aligned and ready to receive all the miraculous and joyful gifts of experience the universe is ready to provide you. Now let's stick a pin in that for a second. When you invite in ecstasy, which is what the mantra, I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires, does, just don't say it once. The mantra, it's a mind tool. You keep working that. It's really saying that you're opening up to the larger game of your life, right? The miraculous and joyful gifts of experience the universe is ready to provide you, but you have to have the internal infrastructure emotionally to handle this. I just did a reading today, and that exact mantra came up for the client. And I said to the client, I said, what happens if you take a 9-volt battery and you put 10,000 volts in it? And she was like, well, it would explode. I said, well, it would melt down. So you have to have the psychic infrastructure to handle high vibrational ecstasy, right? So ecstasy acts as a cosmic green light that grants your destiny permission to enter. It just does make sense, right? It's like, I'm here, I'm feeling my worthiness, and I'm feeling ecstasy without anything changing around me. Then you're inviting destiny to come in. In many instances, pain can be healed and released once a healthy relationship with pleasure is established. In other words, you're not trying to escape your pain, and I feel like that's true for her. She's not trying to escape her pain. For him, he's going to really have to deal with the courage here to invite this ecstasy in, because it's going to have to go through the filter of unresolved emotional upset. Just how that works. This mantra is ideal for increasing self-worth, elevating levels of excitement, and allowing bigger dreams. That's a big deal. That's a big deal for both of them, for all of us, that we can allow ourselves bigger dreams instead of, no, don't dream that big, right? Keep it small, as if staying small makes us safe. No, just makes us easier to be stepped on. Take a nice deep breath. Let's look at the larger picture. And you clap. Because we have the divine feminine here as the shape-shifter archetype in the shadow, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Think politician. There you go. The light, I know some of you just went, right? The light attribute, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. And if you think of like even a good teacher, they can do that, right? A good teacher knows how to talk to somebody at whatever level of consciousness that they're at. And that's why I drop F-bombs. Fuck. Looking here at what she wants, this shapeshifter, she must kind of see the potential in the emotional healing here. On a soul level, she may not be aware of it, but there is ecstasy available to her. And it may be that kind of spiritual, high vibrational, higher dimensional vibe moving through her. So there's something here about the transformation of the emotional world, the element of water, to allow that sort of vibe in. But what she's got to help her do that is make a big decision. Now, again, it's not a major arcana. The major arcana decision card is the Lovers. The minor arcana card here of the Eight of Blades is usually a decision made after great contemplation and perhaps some looping of the mind, like we see in the Eight of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot, right? Perhaps kind of blindfolding oneself to really kind of think about this and take the time to make the wisest decision they can, although maybe not so much an emotional one, but certainly one leaning towards the direction of a more therapeutic emotional transformation or process. Because what's on her mind, what she's thinking about here, is the Five of Pentacles, which can be, by the way, if not about the past, about being left out in the cold or some physical volatile change, can be that her mind is going through an earthquake, that there's something that is being revealed or has been revealed that just changes her foundational belief system here. And nothing quite like ecstasy to do that. That vibration comes in, it can really blow your socks off and show you the more higher vibrational reality of high vibrational love, which absolutely feels like the Ten of Cups ecstasy. And of course, there is this Seven of Flames, the victory card, very much a galloping fire energy for her here emotionally. So it feels like she's all in. She wants this transformation. She wants to overcome. Oh. So if she felt like a victim, this is her alchemy into victory emotionally. She's going to look for the gift in all of this. That's a big decision to make, and certainly one that would take skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, because the ego's level of consciousness wants to play the victim. The soul wants to play the victor. Guess who's going to win? The soul usually wins. And of course, what's the voice of the soul here? Almost promising this Eight of Cups ecstasy, whether with or without this orphan child, which gives her the Virgo independence, if this is the Virgo, to really do this wisely and well. For our divine masculine, though, a little bit trickier here. We've got the orphan child, the shadow attribute, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. In other words, an unwillingness to commit or an unwillingness to get hurt, even in safe circumstances, right? Seeking inappropriate surrogate families. The light attribute, independence based on learning to go it alone. And we all have to learn how to go it alone in that healthy independence, but also conquering fear of surviving. Now, that's the thing. The orphan child can easily make its way into a codependent patterning if someone's going to play mommy or daddy or both for them in one body, right? So that thing really of not compromising themselves, but of conquering the fear of surviving, knowing that their path is assured, they just need to have the courage, looking at the strength card right next to it, to walk that path. What does this child want? This orphan want? Justice, balance. I really don't get the feeling that that this is about social justice in this case. It's really about the balance of things being restored to fairness in this contract. Perhaps things were said. I mean, I'm not seeing any immediate conversational stuff here, except maybe that Page of Swords. Like I said, an immature message is being given, but definitely the desire for things to balance out, not just about karma balancing, but for things to be fair and just and balanced between the two of them. And why? Well, his element of earth is the Nine of Cups. This is his wish fulfillment. The thing about the card of Nine of Cups, it doesn't necessarily mean that this person alone is their wish fulfillment, but there's something about them that is extremely close to their wish fulfillment, although it could be this person as well. You know what I mean? It's like so often we think, oh, if I just get that, all my wishes will be fulfilled, and then we get it, and we have new wishes pop up, right? And that's part of evolution too. And I guess, as usual in a general reading, that's going to play itself out differently depending on who's watching this. On their mind, though, is the strength. I think they know they have to take the hero's journey. Like, really, if you look at the orphan archetype, look at Dorothy Gale, the Wizard of Oz, hero's journey. Luke Skywalker, orphan child, hero's journey, right? Kal-El of Krypton, Bruce Wayne, right? Like, we can just keep naming them. Harry Potter, right? Of these characters that really have to take the hero's journey to develop self-worth and self-esteem. And remember, this is what twin flame contracts are about. So with that card of strength, perhaps looking at the hero's journey, the strength and the courage that it would take for them to make this right, with this divine feminine shapeshifter. And with that Page of Swords, they're feeling it, right? They're definitely feeling, I want to communicate, I love you, I want to say I love you, you're my wish fulfillment. But with that Five of Cups in the soul position, it's like the soul saying, not until you resolve that, kid. You have got this Five of Cups, emotional upset, heartbreak, disruption going on that may have nothing to do with this shapeshifter archetype at all, because we're looking at the orphan child. This can be a heartbreak, a neglect, an abandonment from the past, recent or childhood, right? Relatively recent, but maybe not necessarily something directly involving this shapeshifter. In fact, it's that kind of Five of Cups pain that could cause the divine masculine to take off, hence creating the imbalance and the unfairness here. Because what do orphan children do? They run, right? They either run to or they run towards, but they run. And really, with the mantra here, I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. These two are worthy of ecstasy. And like I said, the soul card, the Ten of Cups for the Divine Feminine, is the ecstasy card. It's printed right on it, ecstasy, Inanna's House of Heaven. But then we've got this self-worth part of it here, definitely for this orphan child. And if I could speak to this orphan child directly, I would say, sweetheart, it's okay. You're in a learning curve. This wound that you have, or wounds plural from childhood, we all have in some way, shape, or form. But this one you had to figure out on your own, but you're not alone, right? That you have the guidance and the grace available to you. Open yourself up to at least all the worth, right? I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires, because it feels like the Divine Feminine's willing to go through whatever emotional transformation is necessary to feel good here. Which again points to that Five of Pentacles as an upset, a physical jolting earthquake. Perhaps these two broke up very quickly, right? One conversation, one text message, one thing, and bam, over. And she's really willing to take this emotional journey to get into that ecstasy. But this orphan child still has some pain to resolve here, some emotional upset from the past, or at least from from childhood, or at least from the relatively recent past in this lifetime, to kind of bring in and invite ecstasy that definitely has to come through that lens of the Five of Cups, so that can be healed as well. Wordy, but worth it. I can feel these two very clearly. And remember, people are in relationships with their twin flames all the time. It's just they can't give each other the love that they want, but they are getting each other the love that they need. And whether these two ever reconnect, they both have, through this twin flame contract, the ability to invite in ecstasy regardless of who they are with or not with. So there you have it, my Virgos. May the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in this twin flame contract mid-September, mid-October 2020, that they may heal themselves, that they may grow themselves, that they may evolve themselves, that they may become the best that they can be individually in contribution to whatever is needed to complete this contract between the two of them, and that they may be a blessing upon this world as well, for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. You know, we're going through so much tumultuous transformation on planet Earth right now. Of course, the twin flames are going to help us all heal, but are we willing to do the work? And in this case, bringing in the high voltage of ecstasy, that's a slow and gradual. Perfect for Virgo too. So thank you so much for watching. The preview is coming up next. If you would like to hang out and watch what the first couple of cards down are all about. Otherwise, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell here, and jump over to Vimeo if you so feel it, my beloved Virgo family, Virgo power. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed mid-September, mid-October, or timeless whenever you are watching this, my darlings. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Hey, 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 my Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Thank you for making the jump over to Vimeo for the extended. As you know, I am a Virgo, and I can kind of relate to this a little bit more on the shapeshifter side than the orphan child side. So I don't know if I have an investment yet, but let's keep going and see. As we said, we got this Divine Feminine shapeshifter, right? With that soul message of the Ten of Cups ecstasy, right? That's what's available here. But for the Divine Masculine orphan child, we got that Five of Cups, right? That there's a heartbreak, there's an emotional upset that really needs to be healed here. Well, oh, I didn't even realize that 5 is half of 10. So he's sort of halfway there to where she is headed, right? You know, I don't know. I feel like these two, if they can like heal what they need to heal, they can have some sort of relationship. But let's keep going. And look, what we're going to do is ask the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. What is the healing angel in charge of this contract mid-September, October, so to speak? I mean, it's not like they sign up, like, I don't know, bowling leagues. I don't know how that works. But you sort of get the idea. Whoever's watching this will be the angel that you could call upon, the healing angel, the healing power, to help you heal yourself, love yourself, or whatever healing is available. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, my angels, it's so nice. It's such a different vibe. Please, my angels, one card in clarity. Who is the angel assigned to these two? This divine feminine shapeshifter and this divine masculine orphan child in this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign twin flame contract mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless, please. What is the angel that walks with them? Ooh, that was a little switcheroo. I can't believe this. The healing angel of children. Child archetype. This is an inner child relationship. This is not about either one of them, right? They can blame each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is about the abandonment issues from childhood. What else would the angel of children, the healing angel of children, be about, right? Unless you got kids, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but there ain't no children in this twin flame contract other than the archetype here. This is about healing that child, about healing your innocence, about those emotional wounds from childhood that, of course, replay themselves out over and over and over again until they're resolved. We're looking at resolution here of childhood trauma, and I do believe that traumas can be healed. Now, there are certain physical traumas that can't be healed, brain traumas and stuff like that. I understand that, but those things are contracted too, as horrible as that is to hear, right? They're part of the soul's growth and evolution. But childhood trauma usually leads someone into a healing path of some kind, right? Mine was definitely the psychological / spiritual, but sometimes it's in service to other people, right? That we find our worth that way that we could not get from others, and still it's not quite the same as self-worth. So really find your innocence, call to the angel. Everyone should call to the angel of healing the child within us, because as one heart heals, all heart heals, and within all of us there is the child of the heart. Oh, just go read Matt Kahn. Let's go watch his stuff. Just easier. I'm a reader and a teacher, but obviously it's more of his specialty than mine. But to me, inner child work isn't a technique; it's a relationship. So let's move on to our next deck, DCK, which is the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Divided the deck into the suit of the problem, half the deck. The other half is the suit of luck, healing, and grace. So let's get the problem and the solution for this twin flame contract. In other words, hey, divine feminine shapeshifter, divine masculine orphan, what's your problem? Take a nice deep breath.